What up? Just getting home. Oh, enjoying my backyard, being home here, walking around, looking at all of the life that has happened since I've been gone. As some of you know, I planted plants in my yard for the first time this year, which may not sound like a big deal to you, but it's a big deal to me. Let me explain. Growing up, we moved a lot, and I became used to not really caring about what was going on or making future long-term investments in things because it was just going to change again. And I lived my life this way for a really long time, even into my adult life. Did missionary work. I always said I was built to be a missionary because of that lifestyle, because I could just grab a bag and go, and I'm content. And so moving here and choosing to have a property and invest in it and stay long term, even if long term is just 6 months, we never know what the future holds, but being intentional about making it beautiful and taking care of it and all of the cool things, right? So I planted my first sunflower in my ground this year. And I was like, wow, I can't believe it's taken me 3 years to do that. I've lived here for 3 years. Now I've done things on the inside of the house, painted and hung pictures on the wall. That was a really big deal for me. But to start to do it on the outside and cultivate my surroundings and just it's been beautiful. So I planted these ferns and I'm walking around and I'm looking at my cat escape the window. Hi, Bruno boy. So all of these ferns, I thought some of them, they didn't make it, but some of them have new little baby leaves growing here. Let me see if I can turn the camera and share with you. Oh, it won't let me do that. I'll post the pictures, but they have new little leaves, and I was just excited and celebrating with them all of the life. So after coming back to the States, coming home, it's been really cool to see how much I've changed just in this short trip. I believe in daily evolution, right? Like every day is a new day. And when you go away for an immersive experience, you're away from your environment, you're away from all of the routines and paradigms, and you put yourself in a new place intentionally for an extended time. The only consistent you have within that is you, especially going to another country, because sure, you can travel state to state, and that's different, culturally completely different. Boston is not the same as LA or like Detroit or Atlanta. They're all different flavors, different seasons, right? Like different speeds, but there's still the consistency of certain things. You know what I mean? Like cultural norms, mindsets. Sure, there's nuances, but going to a different country, it sets you up for a completely different encounter or experience, which is, personally, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you get an opportunity to go to a retreat or a resort or something outside, and I do have a couple of opportunities for you if that's something that you'd like to invest in. Not mine, but friends, whatevs. I got some that I would recommend. Yeah, do it. So coming back, I digress. Let's start with why I went. My reason, my go, okay? So back in April, I was cleaning out my closet. No, I was cleaning out my desk and getting things set up because I wanted to move more I was moving more towards into business being my lifestyle, not just a hobby. So I was getting things prepared, and I kept finding things from my trip in Nicaragua. And I was like, this is really peculiar, because I've been around this stuff for years, 3 years since I've moved here. But like all of a sudden, it was like every other piece of paper I touched had something to do with that trip. And I was like, are you telling me something, Spirit? Like, am I going back to Nicaragua? And I was like, kind of joking around, and inquiring. And the evidence just continually popped up before me. So I was like, okay, Spirit, when am I going? Like, if that's your plan, when do you want me to go? And I heard June. So I was like, okay. So I reached out to Dan. Well, excuse me. I tried to reach out to Dan to tell him or see what was going on, whatever. And since then, around that time, he was additionally like appearing to me, like when I would be in prayer, he would be in my field, and so I went to reach out to him, could not get a hold of him. So I reached out to his wife, Kayla, and was like, hey, like, I feel like I'm going to be coming down again. And I told her that I felt like it was going to be in June. Oh, sorry, my cat just scared me. Sorry, buddy. Hanging out in the jungle, things touching you, it freaks you out. It does some things. There was so many bugs. Don't go during the rainy season. Okay. Not really. It's not that bad. I just found out where I'm a spoiled American. That's all. And I'm grateful. I'm a spoiled American. Oh, thank you. I don't even know where I was at. Oh, because I just went into all of that. The bugs touching me. It was just a praying mantis. I'm just dramatic. Not just. I am dramatic. But it was on my shoulder, and my hands were full, and it freaked me out. Okay, but anyways, just a praying mantis. Oh, I feel like I have 14 stories open. I do. Where are we going, Spirit? All right. So reached out to Kayla, told her I was coming down. Dan's popping up. Go to reach out for Dan. Cannot contact him. I don't have his phone number. I cannot find him on Facebook Messenger. And I'm like, this is weird. So, later found out that at that time, Spirit was talking to him about starting up Immortal Glory Company again. And I was like, okay, so he had changed his Facebook profile back to Immortal Glory. So found him there, connected, and I was sharing with him what I had been working on and all of the cool stuff, like what we, kind of talk about what God's doing in our lives and what we're advancing and learning and just revelate and share life, right? So we were doing that, and I was sharing, and him and I have been on this cool journey together. Like, I'd be learning something and God would stir it within him, and then we'd kind of share and go just share technologies, what we've been learning, downloading, just cool shit. So that was happening again, and is still happening. And I found out that I never told him that I felt like I was supposed to be coming down. And in that, he shared with me how Spirit had opened up or told him to open up this opportunity. And I was like, okay. And I was like, when are you doing that? And he was like, in June. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. So I for sure knew I was going. But sometimes moving by faith is because, in my spirit, my heart, I'm like, yeah, I'll do the thing. And I've traveled many times by faith before. But this time, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, because I'm in a different position, a different season of my life. Before, when I would do it, my household was taken care of. I had partners or lived with family or different situations that I was able to do that. This time, I'm like, I had literally just quit my job to walk into my dreams and building the businesses and doing the things. And, by faith. And now you're telling me that I'm leaving the country by faith. And I was just like, God, whatever, how am I going to pay for it, right? That's really what we ask. But amongst all the other things. So I, down to the wire, like 2 weeks, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to happen. Like, I hadn't bought tickets, hadn't even really seriously looked into buying tickets, because again, how is this? But I was like, okay, Kendra, you don't even know what number to shoot for when you're praying or manifesting, because you are scared of the answer. Like, you're going to look at that and say you don't have whatever. So learning to get out of that mindset again, because it's a continual thing. And just kind of, I was just like, okay, well, maybe I got it wrong, when I heard before that I was supposed to go. So I was like, I guess giving myself excuses and all the reasons why that's not what I heard. And maybe I was just supposed to work with him, not actually go down there and be with him, right? So a car pulls out in front of me, and the license plate looked like it was like Nicaragua, but like scrambled. And I was like, what's that about? And Spirit's like, don't give up. Like, don't. And I'm like, okay, I won't close out hope. I won't conclude that this is what it was, like my excuses. I'm like, okay, God. So I am already on a spirit adventure for the day, praying for where my office is to be that day. And I landed at this really cool coffee shop, and I'm sitting there talking to Spirit about, the license plate and the trip. And I look up, and there's bags of coffee on the wall. And one of them, like in the middle, is Nicaragua. And I was like, well, that's fun. And then Dan calls me, literally right then. So I answer the phone. We have our conversation, and he's like, what's it going to take to get you down here? Like, and I was like, okay, so we have the conversation. And, dude, I hang up, and I'm like, Spirit, what is all of this about? And I realized right then, like, I looked around, I am not one to answer the phone, especially a FaceTime type call where you can hear my entire conversation in public. I barely even talk on the phone when I'm with two people or in a house, whatever. Like, I don't do it. One, out of respect for the person that I'm on the phone with, because people share really intimate things with me, their hopes, their dreams, their fears, their concerns, their worries, all of the things. And I like to keep that private, right? And two, I don't want other people's opinions weighing in on the situation, right? So I like to keep that safe field. Okay. Anyways, so I'm like, wow, I've really grown. I answered that phone call, like not knowing what he was going to say, but like answered it and had a full-blown conversation and was authentic, because in the past, part of the reason that I hold safe space for people is because I know what it's like to live and not feel safe in your body, not feel safe in the environments that you're in, not feel safe to be the authentic you, to speak your truth, to say the things, to be seen. Yeah, so I'm aware of that, right? Like, but now I'm learning that I don't always have to live in that space, and that I can learn to live fluidly and trust myself to know when to answer and when not to. And you know what I mean? Like, have discernment in the things. And it's been a fun journey. So while so right before, I think I made a TikTok about what I'm doing on the journey, and Spirit was just talking to me about playing and all the things. I get down there, it's freaking beautiful. There is a little bit of work involved, but not work, because it's play to me. I enjoy what I do. It's like the hobby thing we talked about earlier. Like, it's my hobby to do all of these things, to travel and to help people and to build systems and just be the alchemist in situations. And it's cool. So part of it was play. And in this, I'm having conversations with Dan about how I'm scared to be authentic, and not scared to be authentic. I know I'm called to be authentic, but I'm scared sometimes to feel to be seen, how like walking in that fully can be scary, you know? Especially because even just listening to this, if you're still here, hi. But thank you. I share about things that not everybody is into. I talk about things that can be expansive and stretching. And, some people aren't always used to someone just saying so freely about, their transitioned loved one standing right next to them or getting a message from a grasshopper. Okay? Like, and I've done some work on even, ancestral stuff, like in our generations, with people being burned at the stake for this kind of stuff, or ostracized and cast out of families and kicked out of churches, and just all the weird things we as humans do to one another when we tap into who we are, our true identity, because it's who we are. We're one with spirit, one with nature, one with earth, right? Like, yeah. So, part of my medicine, part of who I am as an alchemist, I'm a deep feeler. And I see energetic patterns, and I see things intuitively. And sometimes I feel like Spirit sends me into situations to just pray and release glory and see different perspectives and change situations. Sometimes I'm there to witness. Sometimes I'm there to speak a hard truth. But this, it was so fascinating. And it's more than that. It's always seeing yourself, right? Because it's all mirrors and reflections. So there's no judgment. Absolutely no judgment. I'm playing with this AI, and I'm in Dan's Creator Within course, and I'm playing with this tool. And one of the other classmates, buddy, brother, sends me a question. He's like, this is what I'm doing. Like, what do you think? What do you think the solution is? And I was like, this is really fascinating that Spirit told him to ask me this. So while I'm playing with the technology and uploading, and because I was like, I see this, I feel like you'd be able to do this, but I've never done it. So how can I share that without experiencing it, right? And if you do experience it, I like to learn by trial and error and share with you the most fruitful, efficient outcome, right? So I'm playing with it with my own chart, and I was like, this is so cool. Let me put, my Gene Keys profile in there. Let me put this profile in there. Let me put this. And it's like giving me a video and an explanation and all of these cool diagrams and pictures, and the possibilities are so cool. I was like, I want to provide this for people as a service, because I was blown away at what it was sharing about me. And it literally said in there about being so scared to be vulnerable and share your authentic truth in the moment. And I was like, whoa. And also being a deep feeler, and how I can be influenced, and I've always absorbed the feelings of those in the room as my own. And I was like, whoa. And I literally had encounters with this like all of that week, and got to see it intimately, right? Like, I was like, whoa. And it was an amazing tool. Because I believe that we're all one with spirit, like I said, right? And I believe we are one with earth, but we all have unique incarnation patterns, I believe. And I believe that the patterns are what help us or create our personas or our path or all of the things. It's so layered. But what's been cool about it is when I first started my relationship with what I then called Papa God, I still felt a lot of shame and condemnation about the way that I showed up about things, because those around me, the fellowship around me that I had, the pastors, the leaders, they shunned certain things, or, they didn't quite understand, and they just casted everything demonic, and it didn't make sense to me, because I'm like, God, this is how you created me. So it made me dive into my relationship with God and spirit and the word. And, God just revealed and continues to reveal so much. So through this incarnation pattern, these tools, astrology, natal charts, I started to understand and could use a framework to understand the energy things that I was seeing. And it's been so fun because, like, quick, for instance, I officiated a wedding, and the bride, whom I never met, I just, she found me on Facebook, she posted, I wanted to help, whatever, be a blessing. So she's sending me all these details, and she is like very detailed, very structured, like on it. And I'm like, dude, like, I so admire this. And then she sent me another thing, and I was just like, this is so cute to me. Like, where is Virgo in your chart? Like, I have to know. And she was like, that's my sun sign. And I'm like, see, like those kind of patterns I like to play with and just ask, So it's fun that way to me. So I'm running these profiles on myself and this system, and it's telling me about myself in these incarnation patterns, which to me help me see that that's the way that I was designed to function, and it releases like guilt and shame and like weird things that I've and even that, like my inner critic, my inner asshole, like there's this whole inner tension, and I'm like, whoa, now, do I believe that's the entirety of who I am? Absolutely not, because I know that I'm so much more than just those frameworks, right? Like that's a software program or a whatever, right? Like there's so much more. So I don't limit or conclude there, and it's cool. If you want one, let me know. Oh, we can chat. But it was neat to see, like, in live time, like me learn about these things and have the situations happen. So it was like, and I just feel like I received so much freedom about so much. And then when I actually came home from my trip, as soon as I like stepped foot back on the grounds, I'm like walking through the airport, and I was just the cat again. Thanks, Bruno boy. I just was just feeling so loved. I just kept hearing and feeling and thinking about how loved I am and how like supported and provided for, and goodwill and pleasure to take care of me, and like just all of this yumminess. I was like weeping, which shortly later transpired into a little bit of frustration. I was working on my neutrality, being neutral inside, as why do you have to go through so many gates? Why do you have to look into so many cameras? Why do you have to scan all of the things and take off your shoes and be rubbed down or go through this thing? It's just ugh. Anyway. Well, when you say no, when you buck the system, things get a little weird sometimes, so whatever. But I did realize, I was like, part of this is they're trying to humiliate, like, so in my very scorpionic way, Make a joke out of it. Let's all laugh, right? Change the frequency, change the situation. Healed Scorpio. Because you know, the shadow side would tear some shit up. Anywho. So yeah. So this is me doing the authentic thing again and sharing and putting myself out there, and yeah, you're loved too. I love you. I choose to forgive you. And I choose to forgive me all the weird judgments we place on each other. Yeah. All right.